Seeing this loading is taking forever. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next episode. And as soon as I start talking, the game's like, yeah, all right, we'll move. So let's instruct manually this. Real quick, I love how Yuri sits in the back of the classroom. The way he's sitting, that's kind of cool. All right, who should we instruct today? Ooh, didn't get as much motivation as I hoped. Perfect!
Looks like I did it. Ah, no big deal.
Yeah. Keep you there.
That was challenging. I'm certain I've improved.
Alright, a net. Let's raise your black magic and faith.
Thanks for your time.
Yes, that's it.
Give you some breeze.
I'll get the next one too.
Thanks for your time.
And let's see, you do use bows. Up your reason.
Very good.
So we can actually get you a magical attack.
Now I feel like I'm getting somewhere. I'm a natural.
Perfect.
Thank you, Professor. I couldn't have done it without you. This isn't so hard.
Give her some praise.
I'm sure I'll get it again next time.
Up her bow bit. And reason.
Thank you, Professor. I couldn't have done it without you.
Now, for these two.
You make this stuff seem easy. I'm a well-oiled machine.
Constance. Up your flying. And I have no one else to teach because nobody has any motivation. Group tasks. Well, we put Dimitri and Didu together. Right, begin the lecture.
Friend.
See, to be frank, I've never been at ease with lances or axes. I suggest, rather than trusting one of those clumsy weapons into my hands, you help me achieve my mastery with the sword. Focus on sword. I want to keep you on both sword and faith. Saint Michael Day. Let's take part.
Singing is nice, isn't it? The only thing is, I'd prefer to do it without an audience.
Not sure I should sing with everyone. I'm not great at harmonizing.
I was gonna say, we should be seeing some supports.
I thought I heard someone. Are you here to train?
Yes.
Care to train with me? Waving the sword around alone is boring. and I'm tired of crossing swords with worthless opponents. But you seem like a worthy adversary.
Sure, why not?
I've always been interested in your technique. You learned from the former captain of the Knights of Seros, and traveled Fodlan fighting as a mercenary. Good sparring partners like you don't grow on trees. But know that I will beat you, and I will surpass your strength.
Why are you so focused on becoming stronger?
Why? I never really thought about that. I learned to thrust a sword before I learned to write my name. Of course, my upbringing wasn't unique. That's how it is for all children in my country. You're no use if you can't swing a sword, however mighty your crest may be. It was the perfect environment for me. I could live free of stodgy values and virtues. Grow strong so you may live, and live to grow stronger. That's what I was taught.
You have any other ambitions?
Why should I? Nothing's as important as the pursuit of strength. But that's enough idle chatter. Take out your sword. My mind is emptied of all but the thrill of the challenge.
You're now C with Felix. Looks like Mercedes wants to see me.
Good evening, Professor. Returning from work, I take it?
That's right.
I commend you for working so late into the evening. All of my days at the Academy are enriching thanks to you. Try not to overtax yourself, all right? I'm concerned for your health. We wouldn't want you to wear yourself out. The goddess won't smite you if you rely on others for help, you know.
Even so.
Listen here, Professor. You might not like what I'm about to say. To be perfectly honest, I had my doubts when I first met you.
That's surprising.
I don't want you to think less of me for saying this, but here we are. At first, I thought you seemed too young to be a professor. It is unusual, you have to admit. Yet you seemed very composed and mature despite your age. You're strong-willed, encouraging, and you go to great lengths to ensure that everyone is cared for. But it almost feels like you're trying too hard to be a perfect role model for your students.
It comes with the territory.
If that's how you feel, then I can't disagree. But I think it's necessary to give yourself a break every now and again. The mind has a tendency to make mistakes when you've exhausted yourself. In my case, I still seem to make mistakes even when I'm wide awake.
Mistakes?
Oh, you know. I'm always mixing up the dates for drills or misplacing things. Just the other day, I forgot to put on my uniform and headed out to practice wearing only my... well, you can imagine how embarrassed I was. My mind can be so scattered sometimes. Anyway, where was I? Ah, that's right. What I'm trying to say is that you shouldn't push yourself too hard. If you do, you might end up in a pretty bad place. That reminds me, is there anything I can do to assist you, Professor? If it's all right with you, I'd like to help in any way I can.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Whatever you need, just say the word. I look forward to helping you out.
By the way, sometimes you find edible plants among the weeds. Please do not eat the weeds. Just saying.
I love that one. Please don't eat the weeds.
Report the result. We successfully finished everything. I am sorry to put you through the trouble.
I love that one. Sometimes you can find edible weeds. Please do not eat the weeds.
Each new experience is an asset.
I've deepened my understanding.
Well, that worked out. Am I starting to master this?
Got it. Good to go.
It's all coming together. I'm certain I've improved.
A bit more skill never hurt anyone.
Mastery is within my grasp.
Guess I learned a thing or two.
A lot of people learn stuff. All right. Certifications. Can anybody take certifications? Yes, they can. See, to do. All right. First, let's look at to do. I want you to become a fighter.
I passed.
Wow, that was very weak. Alright. Sylvain can... and Yuri, so I'm gonna have to buy another seal. Certifications. Felix, become a Merodon.
Easy.
Sylvain, want you to be a soldier.
Huh, okay. No big deal, really.
See, Mercedes, you're a while. You're one away. You're two. Ash is one away. Probably after the next battle, some of these, Ash, Annette, and possibly maybe even Ingrid can be able to class change.
That was a breeze.
Alright, let's take a look at our supports. Starting with Dimitri.
Your Highness, the hour is late. May I ask where it is you're going?
I'm off to the library for a bit of research before I train. After that, a bath and bed.
Very well. I shall accompany you.
No. There's no need for that. I am a grown man, after all.
You sustained an injury during yesterday's training. My presence may be of use to you.
It was a mere bruise that will heal in no time. No need to fret over me, Dedu.
Are you dissatisfied with me, Your Highness? Please do not hesitate to correct me.
And there it is again.
Yes? What is it?
Well, you often choose to address me as Your Highness. When we first met, you used to call me by my name.
That was because I was unfamiliar with Fodlan's speech. Thinking back, such rude manners were inexcusable.
To be honest, I much preferred it. I feel more comfortable being addressed by my name, rather than with the honorifics that go along with being a prince.
But
I did not teach you to read and write so that you know how to address me properly. And I brought you to the academy as my friend, not a vassal.
But Your Highness, a vassal is precisely what I am.
So much has happened since we met, yet we cannot seem to bridge this gap. So be it. I give you leave to return to your quarters. Take an early night and reflect on what I've said. Please.
I couldn't possibly. I said I would accompany you, did I not?
True. but I would much prefer that we take steps to ease this mindset of yours.
I'd better avoid the training grounds. I swear His Highness never sleeps.
You're out late, Sylvain. Is it safe to assume you've been wildly carousing with women? I'm afraid that behavior simply will not do.
Ah, Your Highness! Hello. No, I was not wildly carousing with women. There was only the one. Let's just forget you saw me. Agreed?
Unfortunately, I can't do that. It's time someone talked some sense into you. And it seems the task has fallen to me. Sylvain, I'm not saying you can't enjoy yourself at night. But you must learn the art of moderation. Again and again, you end up wandering the streets until the early morning.
Okay, I get it. I don't need one of your lectures. I've got them all memorized anyway. I promise I'll be better in the future. I'll stop going out at night, I'll focus more on my studies, and in return, you'll go into town with me, and we'll invite some cute girls to dinner. Shall we shake on it?
The way your mind works absolutely confounds me. How did you even arrive at such a notion?
You need to get out more. Naive and uptight is no way to live your life.
Naive and uptight? Yes, well, compared to you, I imagine I'm downright run-of-the-mill.
I'm not so sure. Most men are experienced enough to know not to give a dagger to the girl they...
Will you never let that rest? It was many years ago. Perhaps a good knock on the head will help you to finally forget about it.
With your brute strength, a knock on the head could knock the life right out of me. You'd better watch that temper, Your Highness. So how about this? I'll try to behave, and you'll try to loosen up.
If I do as you wish, will you truly promise to improve your behavior?
What'd I just say? Of course I'll behave. A knight of Fargus never goes back on his word. What about you? I want to see you with a girl on your arm.
I am a man of my word. I will attempt to do as you ask. But you had better uphold your end of the bargain as well.
Seriously? Yeah, I'll believe it when he introduces me to the lucky girl. Oh, Dimitri, you always take even the silliest things so very seriously. This should be fun.
My goodness! Sword training again today? Don't overdo it, all right?
I certainly won't, but thanks for your concern, Mercedes. It's more of a hobby than anything, so don't worry too much.
A hobby? How wonderful! I would probably get tired of it, but that's just me.
Didn't you say you hope to take the sword test soon?
You're right. I completely forgot that's coming up. What should I do?
To be honest, I've been a bit worried as I haven't seen you at the training ground much.
Why didn't you say something sooner if you were so worried about me?
It didn't occur to me that you could have forgotten. But you're right. I should have mentioned it. As an apology, why don't you let me help you with your swordsmanship?
You would do that for me? I'd really appreciate your help.
Okay, but keep in mind that since we're short on time, we may have to overdo it a little.
I don't like to overdo it, but if we must, I'll try my best.
It's settled. Let's begin. Don't tell me you've forgotten how to hold a sword. We have our work cut out for us.
I usually just hold the sword without thinking about my grip, you know? Let's see what happens now that you've shown me the proper way to handle it. I was nervous at first, but just look at me now. Yeah!
Well, I didn't realize offering to help you would mean risking my life.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. I just meant to swing the sword. I didn't think it would go flying like that. I'm impressed with how quickly you can dodge.
Yes, I know you didn't intend to murder me, though that scare likely took years off my life.
Maybe I'm not cut out for this whole sword fighting thing.
Nonsense. It's far too early to give up. The first time I picked up a sword, I was much like you. It's true that different people are better suited to different things. But if you keep at it and refuse to give up, you're certain to improve.
Do you really think so? Thank you, Dimitri. It's very kind of you to... Oh! There's a rip in your cuff, Dimitri. How do you think...
It seems I didn't dodge your sword fast enough. Don't worry, I can easily repair it.
I'm the one who tore it, so I'll be the one who mends it. How does that sound?
No, please don't worry yourself over it. Just focus on your exam. Hapi, you must know that it's rather uncomfortable to be the subject of such an unflinching gaze.
You'll have to put up with it for a little while longer. I feel like I can almost remember.
Apologies, but I'm not sure what you're referring to. Care to elaborate?
I have this sense that we met somewhere, before we were students. But you're the Prince of Fargus, so how could I have met you?
I do not recall meeting you previously either. Although, long ago, I sometimes accompanied my father as he traveled the kingdom. Perhaps we crossed paths.
Unlikely. I lived in an isolated village in the forest. We didn't have contact with outsiders. After I ran away, I was kidnapped. And my kidnapper kept me locked up all day and night. I think I'd remember if the royal family had stopped by for a visit.
Kidnapped? What do you mean by that?
A lady found me, a helpless runaway, and offered to take me in. She promised to keep me safe. Instead, I became her test subject. She experimented on me with all kinds of spells and rituals. I had a roof over my head and plenty to eat, but otherwise it was a pretty bad experience.
This may be unwelcome from a stranger like myself, but I want you to know that it's perfectly acceptable to be angry about such unfortunate circumstances. I can't fathom why someone would cause you pain like that. I'm sorry you had to endure such a thing. You have every right to feel anything you need to feel toward the person responsible for your suffering.
Oh, that's weird. I wonder...
What's the matter? Was it something I said?
It's just that I've heard those words before. I think it was someone else who said them, but I can't remember who. Maybe I'll figure it out someday. In the meantime, see you around.
Yes, of course. If our meeting again can help you in any way, you need only ask, and I'll be there.
Dear Goddess, please protect us.
Mercedes.
Oh, Dudu. Was there something you needed?
His Highness sent me to collect you.
I see. I'll be with you in just a moment. I'm almost finished here.
You were praying.
I was. Praying for everyone's safety. And praying for good desserts tonight. And that my next exam goes well.
The Fodlan goddess will accept prayers of any sort.
It's true. I've thought the same thing myself. That reminds me, Dudu. Weren't you born in Dusker?
Yes.
Do the people of Dusker pray to the goddess too?
Dusker had a very different view of religion.
Oh?
In Dusker, there were many gods. The sky had a god. The earth had a god. We made offerings to the war god for victory in battle. Held feasts for the sea god to calm the waves.
So your people prayed to different gods depending on what they needed?
Correct.
Your beliefs sound so different from ours. Tell me more.
Why? Dusker is a ruin.
Dusker may be gone, but you're still here. Would you tell me more about it the next time we meet?
If you insist.
Really? That would be great. I'm looking forward to hearing more soon.
Dusker is gone, but I'm still here.
No! Oh no, oh no, oh no! Please tell me that wasn't the pan!
What was that noise?
To-do! Well, as you can see, the pan kind of exploded. Just a little.
How did you manage that?
I looked away for a moment and the pan just went boom! Ugh, I'm grateful nothing caught fire, but now the kitchen is a mess.
Are you hurt?
Oh, no, I just got a little spooked. I really lucked out, didn't I? That could have turned out much worse.
Indeed. But do not turn your back next time. Your life could depend on it.
Right, sorry. I'll be more careful from now on.
Let me help you.
Huh?
I will help you clean up.
No, I can't let you do that. This is all my fault. You shouldn't have to help me.
I have time. Let us fix this quickly. We will need to prepare more food before the others arrive at the dining hall.
Oh, you're right. So, after we clean up, you're also gonna help me cook?
You object?
Of course not. I'm just so sorry to bother you with this.
I must have left it in the library. Oh, is that Felix? Hey, Felix. This is a surprise. I didn't think you had much interest in books. I'm already finished with that one. You can borrow it if you'd like.
No need. I was just curious who it belonged to.
Why not read a few pages at least while you've got it open? I think you'd really like it. The plot is pretty different from a typical knight's tale, but it's still really good. Do you like stories about adventure and chivalry?
No, I despise them.
Yeah, well, have you tried reading any? You might find them really interesting. I know I do.
What do you find so interesting?
Well, for one thing, the knights in these stories are always gallant and brave. And they always value things like friendship, loyalty, and justice. That's the kind of knight I want to be.
Ridiculous. Friendship, loyalty, justice. Only fools allow their lives to be ruled by such nonsense. Fools who get themselves killed for nothing, only to be celebrated as heroes in books like this. Writers of these stories are worse than tyrants. They seize control of people's thoughts.
That's a little much. I was only interested in...
I don't care. Such blind enthusiasm is dangerous. Be more moderate in your passions.
You know something, Felix? You are exactly like the knight in this story.
Excuse me?
On the surface, he's sarcastic and intimidating, but underneath, he's kind and cares for his friends. In the end, they become heroes together and conquer all obstacles.
Disgusting. Stop looking at me like that.
Oh, see, right there. That's just what I mean. You sound exactly like him. I'm going to lend you this book, really, I insist. Just give it a read, all right? Trust me, and you can tell me what you think when you're done.
Why is this happening?
Thanks so much for the help. We should be able to manage on our own from here.
I'm glad to be of use. If there's anything else you need, come find me anytime.
Well, well. You seem to be pretty chummy with the knights.
Chummy? I suppose. Really, I was just helping out with some equipment repairs.
For an assignment or something?
No, it just looked like they could use a hand, so I lent one.
To me, it looked like they were using you for some unpaid labor.
Unpaid labor? I helped them because I wanted to, Happy. I wasn't expecting to be paid. It's like when you help us with our assignments. We don't pay you for that, do we?
Like I have a choice. Can I give you some advice, Freckles? Don't support the Knights, the church, any of them. All you'll get in return is a knife in the back.
Isn't that a little dramatic? You really don't need to worry about that with most people.
You're naive. Those two-faced buffoons exasperate me so much I can hardly help but...
Oh, hey! That reminds me of a great story. You have to hear this one. It's called, oh, The Luna Knight's Tale. Yeah, I think you'll love this. On second thought, maybe a story about a knight isn't what you want to hear right now.
You know, the knights in stories aren't like the ones in real life. Unless the Luna Knight is a liar who does terrible things.
No, of course not. The Luna Knight is the hero of the story. She's from an offshoot of House Blathed, marries into House Regan after the Crescent Moon War. In peacetime, she sets aside her weapons and devotes herself to giving wise counsel to her husband. In this role, she ensures that the dishonest and unfaithful are dealt with accordingly.
Huh. She sounds like a real hero.
Very much so, yes. The tale is full of fascinating details about her.
Ash, I'm sorry to interrupt, but if you're not too busy, we could really use your help right now.
Of course. Be right there. I'll tell you the rest of the tale later, okay, Happy?
Sure, I guess. But seriously, watch yourself, okay? I don't want you to learn I'm right the hard way. See ya, Freckles. I can hardly wait to hear that riveting story of yours.
Using me? I never thought about it that way.
Am I in bed dreaming, or is that you, Mercedes? How serendipitous it is to see you again!
Yes, and here we are. You were so small when I saw you last. How you've grown.
I cannot express how worried I was to hear that you had left House Bartels. I was turned away anytime I asked about you, and of course Emile would never tell me anything.
I'm sorry. There was so much going on in House Bartels back then. But enough about all that. How are you, Constance? I hear you've had hardships of your own.
Indeed. House Nouvelle is no more, and I went alone to the School of Sorcery.
Oh, you went to the Royal School of Sorcery? Just before I began at the Officers' Academy, I was studying there as well.
You were? It must have been after my graduation in 1177.
That was the year I enrolled. We probably just missed each other.
No! You mean to say that if I had stayed a trifle longer, we could have been reunited sooner?
It seems so. Ah, dear Constance. When we were little, I thought of you as my little sister. But now that you've grown up, I think our roles might be reversed. I'll be looking up to you now, and maybe even asking for your help sometimes.
You'd ask for my help? I never thought I'd see the day.
And yet you're seeing it. You know, I had another friend at the school. Her name is Annie. Why don't we all have some tea together? I'm sure you two would really hit it off.
You must mean Annette. Yes, I would welcome the chance to have a long chat with her. I'll prepare the tea straight away.
Oh, no need to rush. The tea isn't going anywhere.
Don't be ridiculous. Time is always of the essence. Why put off for later what I could?
Constance, I wonder what's the matter. Did something happen?
Mercedes, sharing your precious time with me is perhaps more than I deserve.
What do you mean?
Why sit with me when you could share your tea time with someone else? I shall instead stand and serve the tea, though if my presence still proves to be a burden.
Goodness, of course it isn't. Are you feeling all right?
My feelings are immaterial. Pardon me while I fetch the tea leaves at once.
Until a moment ago, everything seemed all right. Why did she change so suddenly? I'll have to ask her what's going on.
Yes, it's decided. This meat is the best meat. Although the other inn has pretty great offerings as well.
Ah, if it isn't Ingrid. What are you up to in a place like this?
Yuri, I could ask you the same.
I'm just out to send a little money to my family. Gotta help however I can, you know?
Oh, that's very nice of you. Forgive my tone earlier. You truly set a noble example.
Right. Anyhow, looked like I interrupted you. You nearly choked on that wad of meat you were gnawing on.
Right. That is true, I suppose. You know,
What is it you're mumbling about?
Nothing. Anyway, you once worked for House Rowe, didn't you? 4 years ago, when I visited Count Rowe at his castle, I swore I saw you by his side.
Quite the sharp memory you have. You aren't mistaken. I was staying there then, yes. I had been adopted by the Count.
Oh? Come to think of it, I thought I'd heard something like that. That the Count had adopted a distant relative of his. A young man whose future was both bright and promising. So, that was you?
Yep. Although now, I'm nothing more than a distant stranger to him. Our ties were severed a while ago. He helped me out by getting me into the academy. It wasn't long after that that we started having all sorts of disagreements. What the hell were you doing visiting House Row anyhow?
Yes. That. How to put it? It was to help clean up after a friend.
Ah, you speak of Sylvain. That must have been quite the mess you were cleaning up. Back to the point. What are you doing out here? Do you frequent this area often?
Mind your business, won't you? I just like to go for walks, get fresh air, that sort of thing.
Easy now. I'm not interrogating you. Really, I just wanted to warn you that it isn't so safe here in the evenings. You'll want to be on your guard.
I thank you for your concern, but I assure you I can handle myself.
Noted. Oh yeah, the innkeeper also wanted me to thank you. He wanted to thank you for being such an enthusiast for the food he sells. Seemed pretty happy about it.
Is that so? How very... Well, I'd better be off.
Seems she doesn't want anyone seeing her with a face full of food. Too late. The Myrmidon.
Ha! Suit yourself. My gut says the odds are in favor of that mercenary. He's clearly a seasoned Yeah. Right when I open my big mouth, he goes and loses on me.
I win. Again. Had enough, Bothus?
Damn you, you've won every round. The fights are rigged. Admit it, it's the only explanation.
Of course they aren't. It's not like we're playing for money. We wouldn't be so foolish now, would we? You're the one who started this silly game anyway. So out with it. You lost. Spill the beans. It has to be juicy, though. Something that leaves you a bit vulnerable.
Why did I agree to these stakes? If this losing streak keeps up, you'll know an awful lot about me, pal. Let's see. Okay, got one. A few years back, I went toe-to-toe with the bird beast in some ancient ruins.
This one again? You obliterated the ruins, and the Lord who found out put a price on your head. You've told me 1,000 times before.
Good story bears repeating, yeah? But it seems I'm all out of anecdotes. How about I take my shirt off and let you look your fill instead? 2 full minutes.
Oh, come now. As if I'm interested in seeing your sweaty torso for the umpteenth time. If you're fresh out of stories, then I have a question for you. About your crest.
Hit me where it hurts, why don't you? Is this your idea of negotiation?
Perhaps. Or perhaps I'm simply curious. Tell me, how did you come across such a rarity? To my knowledge, nobody within House Albrecht has your crest.
Why ask what you already know? You got your own rare crest, so I'm sure you figured it out. Unless you think the goddess gave us these things while we slept. Wait, do you?
Hey now, I'm the one winning the bets, so I'm the one asking the questions.
Got me there. Hey look, the next round's starting. My luck's about to turn around, I can feel it.
Let's do you a favor and call it good here. No need to embarrass yourself further, friend.
Even if I'm terrible at this, I can't walk away during a losing streak. I have my own sort of honor.
All right, Balthus. Check out those two myrmidons.
The two who were eating together earlier. Huh. Who knew they were opponents?
I kinda figured. Thoughts?
Well, that one's pretty beefy. Quick on his feet, too. Clearly a seasoned fighter. His opponent's okay, but a bit showy. Compensating for being newer at this would be my guess.
Mm-hmm. So, make your choice.
Thank you. First guy, no doubt about it. You can see from a mile away that he lost. Well, that was quick.
Not everything is as it appears. For example, were you and I to go at it, perhaps you'd bet in favor of yourself over me, and you'd lose. I'd use my cunning to ensure my victory, by any means necessary. Maybe I'd slip something into your food, level the playing field. You see now?
Point taken. I'll keep that in mind for this next one. Gotta put that great advice to the test, right?
Ever the bold one. It seems we must continue these games until you finally concede.
Hey, Coco, how do you do? Happy! What in the world has gotten into you?
Don't need to be jealous. There's plenty more around.
Happy, it would be easier to understand you if your mouth was less stuffed. Kindly finish what you are eating and then say your piece.
My pleasure.
Nothing better than fresh pastries. You sure you don't want one, Coco?
It's not about whether I want a bun or not. It's about your atrocious manners. Walking around with your arms and jaws stuffed full of unwrapped pastries? There are crumbs all over your lips, your clothes. You've left a trail of them behind you. Unacceptable!
Hey, I paid for them. I can eat them however I want. Sure you don't want a bite? If you don't have any, I'm just gonna eat them all. You have to try them fresh out of the oven if you want the full effect. Pretty soon they'll get cold. Oh, I'll explain in noble speak so you understand. They have a crisp, oven-browned exterior and a sophisticated, spongy sweetness lying within.
Not...
Not interested? That's fine. More for me.
I was going to say, not so fast. Spare one for me, but only because you insisted. It would be rude of me to decline an offering made in good faith. One must mind one's manners.
You're really dragging this out. Here, I'll make it easy for you. Open up.
Wait, don't you...
Not bad, right?
I could not, in good conscience, acknowledge this as anything but delicious.
Now you have crumbs all over you, too. Your form could use a little work. Next time, stuff the whole thing in your mouth at once. That's the proper way to eat a snack like this. If you ate this at some stuffy party, cutting it into sensible little bites, the experience would be ruined.
I see your point. There are more types of dining in this world than I was ready to allow for. You've won me over.
Let's eat them while we head to the cathedral and litter the ground with crumbs.
A capital capital idea. Wait, no! Not the cathedral! You've lost me again, Happy.
And that is all the supports. So let's take part in a seminar. Alright, well, we got us teaching swords, spears, Let's take place. With Hademan.
Well, that worked out.
This isn't so hard.
It's all coming together.
It is Mercedes' birthday, so let's get her flowers.
Professor, I just got word from the Knights that the last of the thieves have been cornered.
Just as planned. They're in Xanadu, the Red Canyon.
We certainly can't allow those underhanded thieves to get away. Let's work together and do our best to take them down.
It matters not who we're up against. They will not harm His Highness.
We're just fighting common thieves, right? I don't expect much of a challenge.
Aren't you a spoil sport? I'm actually quite excited myself. Who knows? There may even be some cute lady thieves.
Well, at any rate, a real battle is a great opportunity for us to see how far we've come.
True. The mock battle was a success. We'll be fine so long as we stay the course.
Hope everything turns out alright.
Perhaps we are a bit overly excited, but remember that we have the Knights on our side. All should be well. Ah, and speaking of the Knights, I heard that Gerald is once again one of the Knights of Seros. Perhaps we'll have the good fortune of seeing you two fight side by side.
We fought together many years.
Oh, of course. I apologize for letting my childish whims get the better of me. In all honesty, I'm a bit jealous. My parents are no longer around.
What do you mean?
They died. Both of them. I'm all that remains of them now. Anyhow, I'm sorry to bore you with such things. I'd say it's nearly time for us to depart, eh, Professor?
And with that, we will end the episode here, and in the next episode, we'll go take care of some bandits. If you enjoyed this episode, do like the videos, it helps tremendously. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below on your thoughts of this episode, and share the videos, that way more people can discover my content and help the channel grow, and I'll see you all next time. Later!